Yellow or golden oyster. The golden oyster mushroom also called the yellow oyster or, in Japanese, tanjitake, is an Asian species popular with hobbyist growers for the gorgeous yellow color of the caps and the versatile, cashew-like flavor. It is also relatively easy to grow, can produce huge crops, and will accept many different substrate types. Unfortunately, golden oyster is almost never available fresh commercially, because its shelf life is so short and the mushrooms break very easily. Golden oysters are not well known as medicinal mushrooms, however, as members of the Pleurotus genus they have many of the same potential medicinal applications as other oysters. The species is also showing potential in mycoremediation, that is, growing fungus in contaminated materials in order to biologically process and clean up the contamination. Nutritional value. There are 42 calories in 1 cup of oyster mushrooms, making them a low-calorie addition to any meal. Oyster mushrooms are also high in nutrients. According to a study published in Food Chemistry, oyster mushrooms contain significant levels of zinc, iron, potassium, calcium, phosphorus, vitamin C, folic acid, niacin, and vitamins B1 and B2. The study concluded that consuming oyster mushrooms as part of a healthy diet contributes to recommended nutritional requirements. Golden oyster mushroom benefits. Discussing the health benefits of golden oysters is complicated by the fact that few authors differentiate among the various oyster mushroom species. While oysters as a group do show a certain biochemical family resemblance and thus share many of the same potential health benefits, they are not identical and certainly not interchangeable. A general discussion of oyster mushroom benefits follows, with the caveat that golden oyster may differ in certain ways. Where information on the golden oyster specifically is available, it is included. Oyster mushrooms in general are nutritious, healthy food, and many have been used in traditional folk medicine for a variety of complaints, including immune issues. Preliminary research suggests some oyster mushroom species may indeed be sources of medicinal compounds. Immune function. Oyster mushrooms may enhance immune function, according to a small study published in the Journal of Traditional and Complementary Medicine in 2015. For the study, participants ingested an oyster mushroom extract for 8 weeks. At the study's end, researchers found evidence that the extract may have immune-enhancing effects. Antioxidant effects. Oyster mushrooms contain ergothioneine, a unique antioxidant exclusively produced by fungi, according to a 2010 study led by Penn State food scientist Joy Dubost. The study found that oyster mushrooms have significant antioxidant properties that protect cells in the body. A 3 ounces serving of oyster mushrooms contains 13 milligrams of ergothioneine, and cooking the mushrooms does not reduce this level. Antibacterial effects. Oyster mushrooms have significant antibacterial activity, according to a 1997 study published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry. The study found that the active compound benzaldehyde reduces bacterial levels. It may form on the mushroom as a reaction to stress. Anti-cholesterol and anti-obesity effects. Rats were fed a high-fat diet, and some were also fed a variety of golden oyster products. Those who received the mushroom supplement had lower cholesterol, lower triglyceride levels, and other markers of better health. The study also identified the chemical constituents responsible for the beneficial effect. A separate study found that mice deliberately made obese by being fed an unhealthy diet, improved when given a golden oyster extract. The mice treated with the extract gained less weight and less body fat and ate less. They also had lower levels of triglycerides and cholesterol, and had other markers of better health. Interestingly, their glucose tolerance also improved. Anti-cancer effects. A research team extracted a substance from golden oyster fruiting bodies and found that it slowed the reproduction of human leukemia cells. The study was strictly in vitro. The team also studied the chemical structure of the substance and determined that it is a glycoprotein but not a lectin, and also determined the means by which it interferes with cancer cells. Whether eating the whole mushroom could have an anti-cancer effect was not addressed. Another study showed that a water extract of the mushroom is able to significantly shrink tumors and reduce inflammation in mice. Conclusion. Some people claim to be able to eat raw oyster mushrooms without difficulty, others advise against the practice. There are certainly some otherwise edible mushrooms that are toxic when raw, and many mushrooms are difficult to digest in their raw state. However, in the case of golden oyster mushrooms, the question may be somewhat academic, as they reportedly don't taste very good unless they are cooked.